So you want to be rich, huh? You want to be really rich. Well, let's take a look at our available options right now. We've got the stock market, we've got the crypto markets. They're really down, they're really bleeding. No, 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 no. That's not what we're talking about in this video, okay? In fact, I want to redefine the word rich. I really wanted to redefine it. And if you would like, if you like this video and if you like the concepts that are described in it, you can simply internalize it as your own dictionary. You don't have to go by everyone else's dictionary. So I'm going to redefine the whole term rich, and I'm going to say that a rich person is a healthy person. Seriously, think about this. Like, actually, when you play video games like Tekken, for instance, fighting games, right? Tekken and stuff like that, you have the meter up there, right? And it's called the health meter, right? And if someone keeps punching you, right? Then your health meter goes down, and if it goes down to red and then it's there's no more, the health meter is just 0, then that's when your character loses. And then you have to go round 2, fight, right? Yeah, look, that's how the game defined health. You know what? We might as well define rich, right? Meaning, like, green, right? Green, we think of green money, right? More green, more money, more rich, right? But in the game, it starts with green. The bar is green, and that's when you're richest, you're healthiest, and then it goes down to red, and then you're poor. You don't have anything. So the game, in a way, is defining rich and poor by how healthy the character is. Let's do that. Why not do that also? Why not redefine the word rich in our own internal dictionaries and see it as health? Are you healthy? Are you vital? Are you really healthy? Let's define health. What is health? What is well-being? Health and well-being is, let's try to package this in in layman's term. Health and well-being is the sensation, the experience, the feeling of happiness, joy, strength, and this is the key, for no real reason, simply for existing. Now, I know some of the people watching this video, some of you guys maybe perhaps are saying, how can you be existing and just happy and joyful? Don't you need a reason for that? Don't you need a reason? Come on, we're humans, we need a reason to be happy. No, you don't. No, you don't. And you know what? It's like, you may not understand it because, unless you've experienced, you might, look, okay. No, you know what? You do understand it. All of you do understand it. Let's please rewind back to a time when you were 5, 4, 5, 6. Weren't you just happy for no reason? Hey, I'm gonna go play with the boys. And then you come back home and you're not all like, no, you're happy. Like, let's suppose like you had really, like, let's say, loving parents. You're like, hey dad, let's go hang out with dad. You're just happy for existing, right? You wake up the next day, and even though you don't want to go to school, but then you go to school and you're just like, you start to get happy, like you see your friends, you're like, wow, that's pretty cool. Oh man, I'm gonna play football in recess, My point being is, you may say, well, no, you have a reason you're gonna play football in recess. No, you're just happy. Everything makes you happy. The whole experience of life, is happy. Right? It's happy. You're not, and kids are imperfect at that. Trust me, the older you get, the more corrupt you get. But go back to a time when you were 4, perhaps, or 4, maybe you don't remember 4, like 5, 6. I feel like 5, 6 is those last years that we experienced as children before the corruption really kicked in. Surprise, surprise, the corruption started to really kick in when we started to go to school, right? It starts to happen when you start to go to school. But let's say before you went to school. In the early years too, because the corruption hasn't really kicked in. I remember as a child, I was just like happy. I was just happy. And then I observe, I spent a good amount with my young cousins, the ones 3, 4, 5-year-old, like preschoolers. I spent a good amount of them 2, 3 years ago. I spent a lot of time, like 3 years ago, I think. Spent a lot of time just playing with them. They're just happy, man. They're just happy. Yeah, they're just happy. Now, of course, granted, children are naive, and the whole thing with the hero's journey is to become a wise child again, so they're not perfect. Don't look at children and be like, oh, they're perfect, I'm gonna be my 4-year-old self again. But I'm saying, just remember that feeling as a child. You all experienced it, you all remember some of it. Just go back to a time where you didn't worry, you didn't need a reason, you didn't need a reason to be happy. Like, you're just happy, right? Unless you had an absolutely traumatizing life, you grew up in some war-torn country, okay? I'm talking about just a normal childhood here with normal parents, okay? You know, your parents don't have to be perfect, but I can guarantee you, every single one of you can remember. And I'm just using like that just so you have a reference point. That's all I'm doing, okay? I'm not saying your childhood state was perfect. I'm not saying that. Children are pretty damn naive and they need supervising, and that's the hero becomes the wise child. You need to gain wisdom as an adult. You need that, okay? So anyway, let's define that. Rich is healthy. Healthy is a feeling of wellness, a feeling of just happiness and joy in the moment for no apparent reason. Now, things make you happy because you're already happy. Like, you go for a walk, you're happy. Oh, can walk, nice. You know, you're just like, wow, look at that nature. You come back home, you're chilling in your cabin, you're happy. Right? You eat, you're happy. You're not eating, you're happy. You're fasting, you're happy. You're eating, you're happy. You're not just like, oh, like if you fast, if you go on a water fast and you're miserable, you get the detox symptoms, but if you're miserable, you're like, I want to eat. Yeah, there you go. Because you're not healthy. In fact, actually, fasting is a good way to measure your health. The longer you can go without eating and feeling well, and feeling joy, and feeling even like you can even get to ecstatic states, it means you're generally a healthier person, physically and mentally and emotionally. Okay? So there you go. But if you need food to satisfy you, but see, a happy person that is just, I feel well in the moment. That's a rich person. That's a person that it doesn't matter what they do, they're happy. They're happy, just happy. So think of like, again, it's a good reference point to remember some parts of your early childhood where just everything was nice. You know, everything was nice. You ate, it was nice. You didn't eat, it was nice. You just go play. I remember, fasting in Ramadan, right? And I remember I was happy. You know what? Because even though there was no food to eat during the day, I'd go play with the boys. I was happy all the same. Eating, no eating, I was happy. But as I grew older, as you grow older, again, but what a coincidence, huh? You go to school and the corruption starts to take place. Then you start to be corrupt, right? And you sort of forget about this state, this health, richness. That's what rich is. So now, we introduced this concept of rich. As we defined what health and well-being is basically a feeling of joy for no apparent reason. Now, how do we be healthy? How do we be rich? Well, in my opinion, and my experience, my opinion is based on my experience, you have to start with the physical. Like you really have to start with the physical. You really have to tune in this temple. Now, the body is the temple. Okay. Now imagine this. If you're a religious person, imagine going to the synagogue, to the church, to the mosque, to the temple, to the ashram, and imagine you go in there and it's so dirty. Like, it's stinky everywhere. It's disgusting everywhere. It's got bird shit everywhere. It's got cat wee everywhere, cat piss everywhere. It's just terrible. It's got garbage bins with like chicken bones and like 3-day-old food that's rotting there. And you're like, well, I'm here to pray. Do you think your prayer would be effective compared to a really clean temple? You can still pray in an environment like that. But let me tell you something. If you're in the mosque and you get your hands like this, the two hands over each other, and here you are, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman, you're just like praying, and then, but you're constantly smelling like cat piss, or like just garbage, like 3-day-old like disgusting food, like just like Popeyes leftovers with like bones in them and like just disgusting stuff. Yeah, disgusting. You really think you're gonna be able to focus? You really do? Now, you can adapt to it, you can get used to the smell, but believe me, the prayer will never be the same as if the mosque was super clean, smelled nice. I remember walking into this Buddhist monastery, first time in a Buddhist monastery, And that's when I started getting into incense sticks, because the thing that really captured me in the beginning was this beautiful smell, sandalwood. I was like, whoa. And then I look around and all this beautiful colors and beautiful arrangements, and man, just sat there, meditated for an hour. It's a group meditation, and I was high. I was like, whatever they're doing here in this temple, I'm gonna do more of that in my life. And I bought incense sticks and started using them. You see? And I started putting like pictures of, because they had pictures of like Krishna and Buddha. I started putting pictures where I meditated in my home. And it was a lot better. My meditations improved. I swear, they improved. Now my house wasn't dirty. Okay, if it was, but it just improved it. Now imagine your house is dirty. Imagine the temple is dirty. The monastery is dirty. Not nice, not nice. It's not, you can't really pray effectively. Okay, not very nice. So you start to clean out the temple first. And what happens as a result is you begin to really feel well, nice, happy, for no apparent reason. You're not perfect by any means. You still like have your addictions and stuff, but you notice an improvement. Now you just got richer, my friends. That's what happened. You just got more money. Okay, you just got more money. You just got richer. You're richer now. You're a richer person. You were poorer before, when your body was in a state of dismay, in a state of disgust, and now you feel better. Yeah, you feel better. Nice air. Oh, it smells good, Yeah, you feel better. And now you're beginning to tap in. You're richer now, period. You're richer than you were before. If let's say you're like, all right, I'm making a change, and you start to clean your stuff up, and let's say you're eating a standard American diet, in a month you're like, I'm going on 30 days, I'm gonna make significant changes here. I'm gonna cut out the fried foods, I'm gonna cut out anything restaurant based, I'm gonna make my own food. I'm gonna start going for 1 hour of walk a day. Let's say you don't even like exercise at all. I'm gonna go for a walk every morning, and I'm gonna go for another one in the evening. Like a month later, you're richer, you feel it. You feel like you're smiling more, you're nicer to people, you're friendlier, you think more positive thoughts of yourself, you love yourself more, you have less negative thoughts. Now you're not perfect, because you gotta do other types of work also, but I can tell you this, my friends, I can tell you, this is, in my opinion, where the work starts. It starts with the physical, with the temple. All right, so now you may ask the question, but Saeed, look, I go to this, my local supermarket, and there is this cashier. She's a fat lady, right? But man, she's so pleasant to be around. She's really, really pleasant to be around. She's amazing. She's a good soul. I can feel it. She smiles at everyone. You can feel the genuine, authentic. Like, she feels nice. You know why? Because at the end of the day, we're not our bodies. We're a complex being. We're a mind, body, spirit complex. And that particular soul, even though her body is in a highly compromised state, but that's the soul showing through. Even though, like, wow, that body's compromised. Now I can tell you something about this wonderful, beautiful lady that you're speaking of, this fat lady. Okay, no offense. Okay, you can call me a midget, you can call me short. I'm 5'5". I'm walking around in Canada and European countries. I'm pretty much short. Like, so come on. We can't be oversensitive about these things, right? So, despite that, I mean, let's be honest, her body's compromised. You can't be like fat like this, let's say big, plump like this. Your body's compromised. She probably got aches and pains everywhere in her body. Her knees, her joints, her arms, everything, So, but she's still smiling. Now I can tell you something. If her body was taken care of, she would be like 3 times more friendly, 3 times more genuine, 3 times more like shining with light. So yes, her soul is clearly shining. So despite the condition of her body, of her temple, she's got this spiritual health. Maybe she prays, she's got a strong connection with God. In any case, even if she doesn't believe in God, but her soul, it's a more evolved soul like that. She appreciates others, she cares for others, you know what I mean. But I can tell you, she'd be 3 times more of that if she was healthy. Okay, now another thing. Let's say this lady that we're speaking of, God bless her soul, she's, let's say, 45-year-old. I can almost guarantee you that 10 years down the line, when she's, let's say, touching 55, let's say she hasn't changed anything in her body, it's the same, okay? She's only gotten a little bigger, she's having more issues. Guarantee you, the light will be a little dimmer 10 years from now. She may still be smiling, but not as much as when she was 45. So what happens is, even if our soul shines through and overcomes some of our physical physical flaws, and when I say physical flaws, I'm not talking about, oh, you got a big nose, or you got this. I'm talking about like you not taking care of your body. Okay, I honestly think all humans are very beautiful. Okay, I really do. I think all humans are beautiful, especially like, I'm talking aesthetically now, from a physical standpoint. And the healthier the human is, the greater the auric field of the body, right? The more attractive it is, not necessarily in a sexual way, just more attractive. People are more attracted to that person. Okay? Now, being a genuine, kind person, that increases the auric field, and that makes a beautiful person, despite, let's say, being plump, or maybe having some kind of an unusual birth deformity. Okay, still, I remember this autistic person that I used to communicate with on a regular basis. I would go to the gym. Wow, such a beautiful person. Like, when we have a certain vibration to us, I'm telling you, man, even if you have some kind of like a genetic disorder or something, really, you appear physically more beautiful. So anyway, back to the fat lady, God bless her soul. Let's say she's 45, she's like still shining. Come to her when she's 55. I can tell you the light will be a little dimmer. Come to her when she's 65. Maybe she's not even smiling anymore. There's too much pain in her body. Maybe she's not. It's too much pain. Too much pain. And you can't blame her. So look, even if you don't take care of your physical health, and you still have this like wonderful, shining, bright soul, you're gonna hit a plateau. I know this lady. I don't know her in person, but she's online. I know her online. She's got a pretty cool YouTube channel. Pretty cool lady. Amazing. And she shares a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom, man. A lot of wisdom. Actually, funnily enough, I wasn't thinking of her. I wasn't thinking of her when I said the fat lady. But she's plump. Okay? She's plump. And man, as much of wisdom, and like you should see her soul is shining through her eyes, shining through everything. Not so long ago, she was in the hospital for a prolonged period, for many months, I believe, at the time. And she doesn't even know, because she doesn't even really take care of her physical health. She doesn't know what it actually means to be physical health. She's more or less ignorant of what it is to be physically healthy. I'm sure if she had the knowledge, or maybe she does have the knowledge, I believe she has the knowledge actually. She even wrote a book on what a human should eat, and she's actually spot on pretty much. But she doesn't follow her advice. So she knows, but she just doesn't follow. Unfortunately, she found herself in the hospital. There she is, very wise lady, very wise. She was immobilized for many months. She was on meds, if I'm not mistaken, like pharma meds, and she was in the hospital being injected with all kinds of things to sort of numb the pain. And yeah, she hit a plateau. And I can tell you, even like her sense of discernment as of late, she got into this political thing, and she got a few things completely off. Even her discernment, I can see, is being affected by the well-being of her physical body. In her younger days, her best videos were something like 10 years ago. You could see she was channeling more because she had a clearer vessel. I don't know how old exactly she is, but I think she's in her 50s, 60s. You see what I'm saying here? You're gonna hit a plateau if you don't take care of your physical body. No matter how amazing, how shining your soul is through, no matter even if you neglect your physical body, even if your soul is shining through, at some point you hit a plateau. It's just the law. You break natural laws. You put the wrong things in your body. I mean, you feed a lion like grass, and first of all, they won't even eat it, even if they're just starved. Try to feed them grass and plants. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe someone tried it, but the lion won't even eat it because he knows it's gonna fuck him up. Same thing, you try and feed like a horse or a cow, Like you just kill a zebra, let's say, and you give it to the horse. The horse won't touch it, and if he does, he's gonna get violently ill and maybe even die. He's gonna get sick at the very least. So when you, as a human, put things here that are not supposed to be put here, yeah, it's gonna catch up to you over time. And yeah, you're gonna hit a plateau. You're gonna hit a plateau. Like, yeah, you're gonna hit a plateau. Period. And so you can think of your health, which is again the state of I feel well, I feel happy, and it's consistent. I mean, you can get there. One day you're like, whoa, I feel good for no reason, and then the next day you wake up and your belly hurts and everything. I'm talking about a consistent state here. You're consistently day in day out for years. You're just like, whoa. You maybe have like 2 bad days in 30 days of the month. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're just like cruising, man. It's just a sense of well-being for no apparent reason, for no external reason. You enjoy the things. The meals in front of you, you enjoy it, but your happiness doesn't depend on it. You could be just as happy fasting as you are eating. Okay, I'm talking about consistently experiencing that, right? You may experience that when you're younger, even if you abuse your body, but I can promise you this: the older you get, the more you damage your body, the less likely you are to experience this sense of well-being, this richness, for no apparent reason. We can get by with a lot of things. We can get away with a lot of things in our younger days, particularly in the teenage years, in the early 20s. But I can tell you, most people begin to really start to feel their conditions come to them in the later part of their 20s and into their 30s, and then by the time 40s, 50s, 60s, now we're getting into diseases, like proper diseases here. Okay, osteoporosis and diabetes and all kinds of heart diseases. Some people get them earlier. They get them in their 30s and everything, but you know what I mean. Okay? So that's it. That's how you be rich, man. That's how you be rich. You be rich by being as healthy as you can, by being as physically healthy as you can. Okay? Now, physical health is going to help you, and you got to work on these all simultaneously. Okay? You don't just like, all right, I'm taking care of my body. Physical health is going to allow you to work more on your mental health and your spiritual health also. You can also start from mental. It doesn't matter where you start, just start somewhere. I'm just saying, in the younger days, you could just go straight into the mental, spiritual stuff. You meditate, you reprogram your mind, you do all these cool things. You're like, I don't even need, like, whatever, I'll eat whatever, it doesn't matter, I'm feeling good. Programming my mind, I'm doing all these cool things. But I'm telling you, with age, it's gonna catch up to you. With age. So you want to do this right? You want to be this sharp knife all the way through your life? You want to live longer? You want to be sharp when you're 100 years old? You want to live to 200, 300? I do. Bar any accident, if God forbid. I mean, of course, if I was to get in some kind of an accident, then my time is over. So I accept that. God, I accept that, But I'm saying, if let's say I don't get in some kind of an unforeseen accident, I'm going to be here for hundreds of years. And I'm planning to be a sharp knife the whole way through. So you want to be a sharp knife the whole way through? You want to be rich the whole way through? Not just maybe in your younger days? That's it. Here, the temple. Take care of this temple, okay? Take care of this temple. Do everything you can to take care of this temple. And of course, you want to be doing all the other stuff, meditating. My videos are all about all these things. How many videos do I have on reprogramming your subconscious and meditation? And I still make them, okay? So then you do everything else. You meditate. You reprogram your subconscious mind. You pray. You do the prayers. You be kind to others. But I can tell you something. Look, when I'm physically healthier, I'm naturally kinder to others. I'm naturally. You can ask Miranda. When I am feeling well in my physical body, I give her this royal treatment. And when I'm feeling irritability, my sinuses are they're inflamed, and I'm like, and I'm tired, and I'm irritable. Unfortunately, I'm not the best version of myself to her. And it just happens, how well is my physical body doing? So that's the foundation. The foundation is your temple. You build the temple. You treat it with the uttermost care. That's your foundation. So if let's say I was like, all right, I'm being exposed to all these concepts, meditation, reprogramming, praying, everything, like physical health cultures. Where do you start? You start with the physical. Go for walks, take cold showers, eat healthier, eat less, fast. And from that foundation, that's your foundation to the house. Okay, there's the foundation. See that cabin over there? If we go around, I mean, look, that's actually one of the foundations right there. See that? You know, it's a pretty simple cabin, but see, that's foundation. Okay, there's rocks and basically sticks. See them? Yeah, rocks and sticks. Okay, so those rocks and sticks, that's your health. Okay, you want this cabin to last, build this proper foundations, because if you don't, you go, because you know what, ultimately, like, we are our spirit, therefore we are the cabin and even above. Think, you know, we are so much more than the health. But you want this to last, have strong foundations, my friends. Okay, the ancients used to build these monuments that we still have, you know, remains of. They used to build them for thousands of years. They last. You want to last, you want to be a sharp knife all the way through, foundation is health. Make the best possible foundation. From there on, all the meditation is better. You know, when you're healthier, oh man, when I'm fasting, when I'm on liquid consumption, oh man, meditations are so much clearer. Oh wow, so much better. You see, when I take a cold shower, sometimes I'm like, I don't even need to meditate. Right, because it gets you in a meditative state. What is this sorcery, man? What is this sorcery? 5 minutes of cold water, and suddenly you're like zenned out. You know, oof. What is this sorcery? The physical body, that's the foundation. You want to be a sharp knife for hundreds of years? You really do? That you want to be rich? You want to be rich for hundreds of years? Okay? Because let's say, you know, people who just like they neglect the foundation, they neglect the physical health, they go straight into, I'm gonna meditate, they get straight into the mind stuff, the reprogramming, which is fantastic stuff, fantastic. You know what, they get into it in their 20s, their 30s, they're cruising, they're channeling all this wisdom, and oh man, but because the foundations aren't there, they're not strong, they hit their 40s, 50s, 60s, and they begin the crumbling. All this wisdom they have, all this spiritual knowledge, all this stuff, doesn't matter. Okay, the law is natural law. The house begins to crumble. Knife isn't as sharp anymore. Okay? So think of the foundation as your physical health. Think of the cabin, like the house, as all this other stuff. We're here to serve creativity, creation. Like for me, this is the house, making these videos. Creativity, relationships, meditation, reprogramming, that's the house. But I want this house to last, and I want it to be there, and I want it to be sharp. Okay? Therefore, that's my foundation. That's how I'm going to be rich. You want to be rich? Redefine the word rich in your mind. Think of it as health and well-being. And where do we start? Where do we start with that? We start with the temple. This is the God-given temple, so we can shine our light through to this troubled but beautiful world. Okay? My sincere gratitude to our beautiful, generous donors. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing people that just decided, hey, you know what? I like these videos. I'm going to donate. You guys are awesome. Everybody's awesome, whether you donated or not. If you're interested in donating, like you're really just like, hey, you know what? I'd like to make a donation. Link is down below in the description. I also offer one-on-one consulting services. If you want to book a call, I have a link in the description. Saeed Mobayed is my Instagram. Give us a follow. Until next time, may the force be with you.